Okay, I'm not gonna read chat. I'm just gonna do my demo review, and then we can talk later. Hey guys, welcome to my demo review. um, Basically, I wanted to see if it's helpful for me to review people's demos, so I put up a thread on Team Fortress TV, and I'm accepting demos to review for people who are playing in ESEA. And this first demo I have is from Saint, who is actually a mod on my channel, and he's playing an open next season on Makin' Bacon Pancakes. And he says, we played against Rice Guys, finished last, which we've only scrimmed a handful of times, maybe 5. We usually match up well against them as far as I can remember. Our team is still learning a lot about the map, and it's probably one of our weaker maps. Plus it's process week, so we need all the help we can get. I feel a lot of the time I get caught out and have to fight 1v1s when I don't need to, so general positioning / help / what to do to avoid being in those types of situations would be appreciated. So he's looking for positioning advice, overall team positioning, and whatever else. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna go now. So if you guys aren't familiar with this map, this is CP Process, and it looks extremely laggy. Is that just me? Alright, let's try that again, because that looked way too laggy. Ah, it looks much better. Yeah, I don't know, I have that error sometimes where if you pause for way too long, then it like starts... Nope, it's still not good. This is a POV demo too, so I'm just gonna have to deal with this, I guess. Maybe his computer isn't very good or something, but I'll still look at it anyways. Just throwing a bunch of stickies early. You got good damage on the demo. Just chucking pipes. I will have to admit to you, Saint, that Demoman is my worst class. Right there, you're the furthest one out in front though. Like if you notice, when you pushed up onto the health pack, you were the furthest person in front of all your teammates, so you kind of committed yourself to a situation that you couldn't back out of. A lot of demos on mid, like, they do go right side sometimes. I mean, you can do that sewer rollout if you've seen it before, but it's slow. I mean, you got good initial damage, but you traded a lot of it, and your medic didn't heal you very much, so you kind of had to work with what you got. This is good, though. That's very good. And then, now you kind of sense weakness, right? They're kind of backing up. You should consider getting into them. Yeah, that's good. This is really good. A little worried about that scout going into you, even though he has no interest in you at all. Medic goes down. This is good now. Now you just need to stay alive. Oh, nice pipe. That was freaking sick. Yeah, that's a really solid push out for you guys. Okay, so I like how you're locking out the choke here and letting your teammates capture the point. This is, you know, you're kind of holding up a little close though, especially with no trap up right now, so you know, if someone did push you, you might be in trouble, but you're okay here now, and now that your medic's healing you. And you're just kind of building up Uber. Their medic is probably building up an Uber here now, so it's evens. So, you know, you're just kind of poking here. That's fine. Just being annoying. You should start setting up for whatever push you guys are going to do next. So if you're going to go through IT, then you should, you know, set up for that. It looks like Skyzer, if that's how you say his name, your teammate went for a sacrifice play or something. So when you went for the sacrifice play there, it's 5 on 6, so there's a chance that they might push you. So you should be setting up a trap as if they would push you, because they do have that man advantage. They could push you potentially. And if you don't have a trap up and they push you, then you're kind of useless. But it looks like their team's holding really far back, so they're just letting you guys get your respawns. Yeah, that scout thinking about rushing you. Nice defensive sticky. Okay, cool. You're looking pretty solid here. Now you guys have Uber. Now you have full ammo. This is good ammo management here. Like, overall, this is pretty solid. Just kind of waiting for something to happen next, and it looks like your team is waiting for you to make something happen next, which is kind of unlikely. Like, there's not, like, even though you're getting a good sticky, you know, sniping here. Ooh. Unless you unless you bait that scout. Oh my gosh. Alright, so let me pause here. So from the looks of what happened there, like what I was saying, is you were the furthest person in front, and whenever you're the Demoman and you're the furthest person in front, you put yourself at risk just because, you know, Demoman is not a close range class, and that's my opinion of it at least. Demoman is kind of like a long range damage dealer, and that as a Demoman you could do the same amount of damage at any range. Now that's not technically true, because if you're closer you can put out more stickies than if you were farther away, but the point stands is that you can kind of do the same amount of damage. You're deading a sticky from close range or long range. It really doesn't really matter as long as you land the sticky on their head. So I mean, maybe it's easier when you're closer, but when you're putting yourself out in front, you're putting yourself at risk. So that's why when that scout's poking you, you got to be really careful about that. The other thing too is when you guys are in a stalemate like that, typically you don't want your Demoman to be the one creating the play for your team, because like sure you're hitting them with good maybe 80 damage stickies, but 80 damage stickies aren't going to kill anybody, so you're still going to be in a stalemate. So like if you watch some of the other invite teams, one of the things they like to do is sacrifice a roamer, so you might go for that instead. And like you guys had Skyzer, I don't know what class he's playing, but like Skyzer was doing a sacrifice for you guys. When you do a sacrifice and you're 5-on-6, set up a trap. So maybe in that situation where you were just at, maybe set up a trap, let your roamer bomb through and see what he can get. Maybe he can get an Uber Force, maybe he can get a pick or something. You can spam pipes in there with him to help him out. But, don't put yourself at risk or in a situation where you might go down. And now with you being down and Anthony 500 being down, it looks like they're going to push you very easily. They're not even going to have to use Uber. And now, yeah, 3 of you guys are going down, so you guys are just continuing to bleed players, and it's not looking too good. And yeah. So now you have to defend this push. They pop an Uber, your medic pops second, which is good, but you guys don't have any numbers at all, and this is unfortunate. I'm of the opinion that you shouldn't have backed away from your medic there. I know some Demoman might disagree with me on that, but if you have a better Uber defensively, you should keep your Demoman nearby so you can flash him. Because if you run away from your medic's job is to stay with your pocket and make sure he doesn't drop his pocket. So if you run away from your medic, he can't flash you. At that point, when the scout was chasing you, you were too far away to get flashed. And if you have a better Uber, then you should be okay with your medic flashing a little bit. Also, nice pipe there on the scout. So I mean, it was looking pretty good when you guys were holding mid, but then it kind of just fell apart once you died. You notice how once you died, you lost the entire round. The enemy team was really good in transition. They just kept pushing you guys and not allowing you to set up your defense. Your rollout is very solid there, Saint. I notice how you're pushing up once again, and see how you're not doing damage. You're just taking damage there. You're down to 50 health, and you got to be really careful not to die here. You should be backing up towards your medic, or I mean, you're in a situation here where it's either jumping on top of you, like you're in a corner by yourself. You get away with it, but I'm just surprised that the enemy team didn't have any scouts to push you or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, you could have gotten finished off there with 50 health. Here they come into you now, and they drop your medic, which is really unfortunate. So at this point, you kind of got a salvage situation. You're already committed. Oh no, you're not. You're not committed. Well, you kind of are, I guess. You were definitely by yourself there, but I mean, at the time you were with your medic, and your medic died, and you were trying to get out. It's a bit unfortunate. So, one of the things that we were talking about was that Uber exchange on the second point. When you are even Ubers, you want to be holding on the battlements. I think that's something you guys didn't do last time, was you kind of held near the spire. On even Ubers, it's better to hold near the battlements because it'll get you a better Uber exchange. When you have an Uber disadvantage and they're going to push you with Uber, it's better to hold where you were, like in the trash, so you can back away. But on even Ubers, it's better to be closer to the choke. And Battlement says that for you. Here you guys have pulled back to last. They have Uber advantage, but you're at 75%, so you're getting very close to getting it, and they pop the Uber here, and you guys are just way too close. You're almost back to— oh, you just barely made it out alive. That scout didn't hit his shots. That's really fortunate for you there. Oh, you a little bit misread the soldier, but you still get the pick on Asian Rice guy. That's pretty solid. And now you guys pop your Uber. This is looking pretty good. You guys are able to defend that. That was nice. And one thing you gotta keep in mind is that when they do have advantage, you gotta be really careful about how close you stand to the doors, because they could just rush you with a scout. Now, if that scout hit his shots, he should have finished you off. Anyways, here, I think their medic got out alive. I wasn't paying the best attention, but I think their medic got alive. So it's even Ubers here. So you know, you're holding here by the choke, which is good. And I think your medic should be holding battlements. Oh, they have, because you popped your Uber so, if their medic stayed alive and you popped Uber so late, they're gonna have a slight advantage, maybe 20%. So you're 60. You know, they're probably 20% away from getting it. So they're thinking about pushing choke. And you're here pressuring really heavily. You don't have a trap up, so if someone jumped you, you'd be in a lot of trouble, especially since you just took 90 damage. You gotta be really careful at risking yourself there. As a Demoman, I don't feel comfortable getting below like 170, maybe as low as 150. But once you have a buff, you can feel free to poke as much as you want. But when you lose that buff, you should consider backing off. You can't afford to lose your life right here, otherwise you probably lose the round. If you died here. Good poking once again. Really good damage on the soldier. Can you finish it off? Or get on the force? Ah! You hit him with so much damage, but no one came in there to help you finish that off or poke at all. Like your pocket didn't even spam a couple rockets or anything to help you out. So when you're doing damage like that, you gotta call it out to your teammates. Get them to come in and help you a little bit. Really good poking once again. I can't believe the enemy team is letting you poke that much. Gotta be careful about those pills though. Really good damage, and Anthony gets a pick. So now this is your turn to push. Or at least try and get a force or something. You're backing off, your pocket's backing off, and yeah, it looks like Anthony just went down. So even Ubers, so that's fine. Again, even Ubers, you should be chilling, your combo should be chilling on battlements. At least the way I do it is the combo chills on battlements, and then you as a Demoman would back up towards the side spire. Or to the right side of spire, near the forward spawn. Not that far back, but you know, in that direction. That way you have the ammo pack to help you spam and stuff like that. Yeah. Tidy gets another pick. You guys should be doing something with this here. And you want to push. You guys are like playing like Saint. I forgot where you're from. Are you from? I'm assuming. Anyways, okay. Assuming you're North American, it's really weird that you guys are just pushing your Demoman all the time because that's like European style. You're from SoCal? I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, you guys are pocketing your Demoman a lot at that choke. You could push your soldier, and like I said, so keep the heal beam on your soldier, and then have your Demoman spam from range. I mean, as long as you're not eating spam, you're fine. Good point defense. Medic goes down. Looks really good. As soon as their medic dies, you know you're going to begin pushing out. They're 3 down here. And leave your roamer to clear it out while you start securing the choke. You need to get up the choke super fast and start locking them out so they can't contest. The forward spawn on process is pretty close. You can see they're already at the choke trying to get their way in. A faster team would be able to get in there. So, well, not necessarily, but like, you know, you should try and get up the choke faster and lock them out. Don't give them a single chance to try and get out of that. Good damage on that soldier again. Your medic should be bringing you in on this because you have advantage, so your medic should have brought you in. You could have, you know, when your medic brings you in, you could have done like a sticky jump on top of the point and then, you know, rain damage down from up top. Something like that. You guys are still looking pretty good here. Even though they're pushing into you, you're still looking pretty good. You guys are trading kills now. Yeah, and I think if they brought you in, you would have done a lot more damage there, that mid. Oh. You're always poking out for that extra little bit of damage, and it's costed you a couple times when you're playing against James. when you're at like 50 health, you're one-shottable, so you can't afford to really risk your life once again. Well, one thing you gotta know about as a Demoman is kind of like when's the right time to come in with your combo on the Ubers. And it's all based on like how close you are to them, and then kind of what the Uber advantage situation is like. If you have advantage, your medic should be like flashing 1 or 2 people in addition to your pocket. Probably 1 person. And sometimes that's a scout, depending on how. If they're really close, you get a scout. If they're really far, sometimes you'll do a demo. Or sometimes, you know, if they're far enough away, you might not even Uber at all. But right here they crits into you, and that was unfortunate. That was kind of difficult there. I mean, their team kind of caught your team off guard with the crits. Typically, when the enemy team crits, you kind of just jump all your players onto their medic to try and kill him, and then force some sort of DM fight. Okay, you're going left this time, which is good. I mean, you guys lost the last 2 mids, so it's good to switch it up. You haven't gotten any damage onto their scouts yet. You got decent damage onto their demo and a soldier. You got Pickles down here. This looks good. Eating more damage, forcing your medic to heal you. This is good though. That was a great mid. I like how you're moving up quickly to try and get some pressure here onto the... Yeah, nice. A little risky though, a little risky. But you gotta watch out door number 2 right here on your right. That's where they might come out to try and poke you. Blank says Saints comms. Yo, I'm ripping some noobs. Alright, so you guys got the pick, getting ready to push in. Here you go, now with the rest of this Uber. I would have liked to seen you take some of that Uber, but you know, it's fine that you didn't. Just to get through the doors into last. I think a better option for you would have been to migrate towards lobby. I think when you're in the lobby, you have a lot more room to work with in terms of like putting stickies on the last point. If you go down the bottom left tunnel, you've kind of limited yourself because there's that wall in your way, and then you have to, you know, navigate around that to get stickies on the point. Really important that Demoman gets stickies on the last point when you're pushing them, because it allows your scouts to get on there and get some cap time without, you know, and then punishes them for trying to contest. Without your stickies on the point, it made it hard to force them there. Okay. So I mean, on these mids, I would be looking to hit the first couple stickies on their Demoman, but then after that, start looking to hit some scouts, maybe soldiers. But if you get damage on their scouts, it's really useful. Like right here. Yeah, nice. A little bit more though. Your sticky aim, you're kind of missing a lot, and you could tell you didn't really get a lot of good damage there, and your team kind of pushed in, even though you didn't hit that much damage. So, oh, Asian rice guy, you're kind of backing up a lot here after getting that pick. I would have liked to seen you sit trash and maybe set up and slow down the Spire a little bit more instead of giving up all that ground right away. You guys are going for it. Damage. Your medic is not flashing you. He just doesn't like you. Their medic made a mistake. You should be trapping their medic. Don't let him out. Are you typing? What are you doing? Okay, the medic goes down anyways. This is good. You're moving a little fast here. 90 health, right here. 90 health, if you go down, then that effectively stops your team's ability to push into the second point. So, really risky there, you don't want to die. Can't afford to die. There's a trap at the choke there that you see. And yeah, your team has Uber advantage. So right here, you know your team has Uber advantage. You could push through the choke with the Uber advantage, but then you know you're gonna get forced right at the choke, and then you're gonna have to chase them. So my favorite push when I'm going from middle to second point with Uber advantage is to go through the IT, or which is the computer room, which is on, I guess, behind you in this at this angle. And the reason I like to go that way is because where you come out is closer to their last point than the choke is. So when you get forced, you're going to be closer to them, and you know it's okay for you to hold the choke there and then have your combo run through the IT with maybe a scout to push out the battlements. Great pick there. Really good damage. Oh! What are you gonna do? So anyways, you guys traded Demoman, and then you might have traded medics. I didn't really see if their medic died there. You guys are trading more picks. I guess the medic didn't go down because you're expecting them to push here. It looks like you're expecting them to push. Sort of evening out the Ubers here. I like your positioning. You know, you're not really putting yourself at risk. You're just letting yourself. You're letting your medic build Uber. One thing your medic is doing though, and this is just so you know, like he's buffing a lot. And if you're expecting them to push, you buff up a lot. But if you're not expecting them to push, you should be building up an Uber. You see Anthony gets the pick, 80%. You still don't have the Uber yet though, because you've been buffing so much. And now you're just about to get it. So you know, you should be readying yourself to put yourself in a situation where you're ready to spam and then maybe get some stickies on the point. So here comes this Uber push soon. No, okay, I guess not. You guys are waiting for your sniper pick. This is all very good. Notice how your stickies there aren't really doing anything. Your sniper's actually in front of those stickies. I would have repositioned your stickies in the lobby, maybe on the far right door, because sometimes roamers or sniper can make a play there. So maybe sticky out that right door, not that one that you're looking at, the far right. As you can see, their scout was poking right there. Yeah, if you get a couple stickies on that door, you might be able to get a pick that way. No one really pushes out that door, that left door, number one. No one really pushes out that way. I'd be very surprised if someone came out that way. You guys are just kind of waiting for your sniper to do something. Your pocket goes down, or your roamer, whoever that is. Anthony goes down. Looks like that's your roamer. You guys go 2 down here, which is really dangerous. Plus you have a sniper, so you're 2.5 down. And here comes the soldier into you guys. Decent rocket surf. But now you're really low and you're separated from your combo, so you're really not in a position to do very much here. You don't have anything loaded, so you just gotta rotate around to the choke. And this is good. You should be getting healed up right now. I think you have crit heals. Yeah. And then you can just begin poking with the crit heals, but yeah, you're just eating those pipes like a motherfucker. You gotta get all loaded up here. You guys are going for this push. Did they use Uber on second? I didn't see it, but maybe they used it and I didn't see. Looks like James goes down, so their Demoman is dead. So you shouldn't even have to use Uber here if you guys do this right. Oh, but you might just use it into them. Yeah, this is still good. You take down the pocket, nice. And stay with the medic, because he's gonna flash you and keep you alive. Okay. Caboose just kind of suicided there. So you intentionally separated yourself from the combo, which means you're putting yourself in a situation where you can get low health, or when you're like you can't get into last. You keep poking through that number 1 door, but it's really not working out for you that well. I mean, when you went for that spawn camp earlier on, that was okay to go through that door, but in all other pushes, you should be looking to go lobby and just poke through either the left or right lobby door, or you can come in with the combo and get stickies on the last, but that bottom left door is not working out for you. You should be coming in with that Uber to get into last. Like, the whole problem with the Demoman is how do you get into last to do the damage? And you're intentionally separating yourself from the combo and then pushing yourself through probably the hardest door to get into last. If you, I mean, you guys should have won that push right there because you had huge advantage. You got the pick on the pocket, and you could have chased their medic into last. I think you guys should have had that round right there. Another thing too is I'm not a really big fan of this hold that you got going on. This is the hold you would do if you think they're going to push out of last. Like, this is all fine if you think they're going to push out of last. Because look, you have a good Uber exchange, although your medic is backing away for some reason. You see, you're not really in a position to fight this scout, and I don't think you should have used all of your ammo on him. If you had someone else with you, he could have, you know, maybe your pocket soldier could have pushed the scout away and you could have focused all of your damage on top of Spire, but you wasted all your ammo on that scout that you didn't hit. That's a good pick on the scout there. Oof. Ouch, the sniper. But yeah, that whole exchange, like, that whole situation I wasn't a fan of. Like, when you're holding the 4th point and it's even Ubers, like, you should be positioning yourself, or even on advantage, you should be positioning yourself, I think, maybe in the lobby, getting ready for a push out of lobby. When you think they're going to push out into you, it's fine to stay on the top of the Spire. That's what you were doing. That was fine. But then when they do push out, you're going to have a better Uber. So I wasn't quite sure why you guys were backing up so much with a better Uber. You could have forced their Uber like you did, then popped your better Uber into them, and then try to get some picks that way with your pocket demo. And then the middle exchange was kind of weird. You know, too much demo on the scout. And I know you're an open, and I'm definitely not one to talk, but you gotta watch your sticky aim here too, because like the whole idea is to land the sticky right on their face, and especially against scouts, they should be easy to hit. Not easy, but like you should be able to hit a sticky on them. Oh, great force there. That was really good. But your medic went down. I don't think you saw the scout come in. Oh. That's really unfortunate. One thing that I saw that was kind of interesting was right there when you're holding the Spire, and this is really nitpicky as well, but like you got a lot of damage at the choke, and you knew they had advantage because their medic stayed alive the entire time and your medic went down. So when they have advantage on middle, pushing your 2nd point, you want to force the Uber and then back away and stay alive. If you die, then their Uber was successful, and then they can get your last point for free because you're 4 down. So the whole point is force their Uber and then back away. What you did there was you forced the Uber and then walk towards them at the choke, and then by the time you realized they Ubered, you were like too committed and like you were destined to die there. So like, really be careful and make sure you're keeping track of the Uber advantages. Like, if they have Uber and they're going to push into you, force the Uber and then make sure you're in a position to get away. If you're too close to the choke, or if you're walking towards the choke, you're definitely not going to get out. You guys are getting some great picks here. You should be positioning yourself to push out. Or at least poke. This is actually one of the easier last points to get out of in comparison to a map like Badlands or Snakewater. So, you know, take advantage of that. If you guys go up in numbers and it's even Ubers, try and get out. You don't have to, that doesn't mean, you know, commit to pushing out and like throw all of your bodies at the spire, but like, you know, you shouldn't be putting stickies on the point when it's even Ubers, because there's no way they're gonna push last right now. And even if they were, you would want to get stickies farther up to get an Uber force. Same thing too if you have disadvantage. Actually, you want to get your stickies up there to try and force their Uber. That was a great pick. Okay, so, oh, nice. Okay, that's green light means go, and you should be pushing the lobby. Well, it doesn't matter either way, as long as you're staying with your combo, this is fine. Push straight across to the point. You notice how, I mean, they're in no position to do anything to you guys, right? Like, they lost a medic and a scout. I mean, a scout provides a lot of presence for them, and the medic provides all the heals. So as soon as you get out on the battlements and see that it's clear, you should be like hauling ass, like cut straight across and push straight into them. You kind of went this roundabout way so you can start getting cap time on the spire. But you guys should be trying to get straight into them right now. I mean, you guys have Uber right here, and you want to just push right in and get great damage in there, and I think you should be taking some of this Uber. Oh, where's your pocket soldier? Tidy went down, I think. Yeah. Still good, still good. You should sticky jump into them. Sticky jump in. Oh man, you can sense they're in an awkward time. And then you kind of like, I don't know. Like when you have huge advantage when you're pushing from 2 to 3, you should consider sticky jumping into them on top of the point there. And I'm not saying every single time, but like if you can tell that they're backing away from you, that's the right time to jump into them. You got kind of conflicted there, turning around, looking at Spire, thinking, okay, should I try and defend that? And then you ended up getting caught out by yourself. Yeah. You can still get the push to work though without a pocket soldier, and just keep that in mind. Bit unfortunate once again. As a Demoman, you want to try and keep your scouts in between you and their scouts. And I think your scouts were just kind of really aggressive. You had a really strong first couple rounds here, but I don't know, it's kind of falling apart in terms of like you staying alive. And you're kind of dying a lot, and the more you die as a Demoman, it just limits your ability to do damage, right? I mean, you can't afford to be dying because your Demoman stops them from pushing into you. You're the, you know, one of the biggest source of damages on your team, and I don't know, I just feel like if you're, you know, you should try and limit your deaths, and I think you kind of recognize that too when you were saying you need to work on your positioning or whatever. But like even right now, you're separating from your combo, you're putting yourself intentionally far away from them. Your combo is your safest bet. If you notice, your trap didn't even stop him from coming out of 2. That's just a learning mistake. But yeah, if you count the average amount of damage you're doing per life right now, it's pretty low. You're kind of like doing damage and then dying and then respawning, and every time you respawn, you're hurting your team, but you still win the round anyways. I really think that lobby is a safer hold for you, and then you have a soldier hold that ramp door, and then, you know, that same soldier can watch the bottom left as well, door number 1. I call that the trash. Wow, great damage. If you hear all those hit beeps, you know they're hurting, so you should push into them. you're kind of backing away when you heard a lot of hit beeps. When you hear a lot of hit beeps, you should be walking forward. Even now, you know that they're hurt. You have a lot of cap time here. Yeah, you should be walking forward into them. What was that? Okay. The reason I say you should be walking forward into them and not jumping into them is because a sticky jump costs you like 50 to 80 health, right? So you're at 175, you're already putting yourself at half health. If you sense that you're going to do that move, if you sense that you're going to push into them earlier, you can walk instead of sticky jumping. That's just sort of position, like, that's just recognizing, that's just a game sense thing. You want to be walking as much as you can, but if you have to sticky jump to catch up because you kind of made a positioning error, that's fine. But you want to be walking towards where you want to go next as much as you can. It's not like Soldier where you just rocket jump everywhere.
Our control point is being captured.
I don't want to say you have a... I wouldn't call it a habit, but you have a tendency to run away from your combo when you need the Uber the most. Last season, I spent a lot of time watching Banny on this map because I don't really know Process that well and I don't really know Demoman that well. And something I noticed was that he would always stay away from his combo when they did Uber pushes. You can ask some of the other Demomen in here who are better than me, like RR or something like that. But my take on it is, on even Ubers, you don't really want to bring your Demoman in. But if your Demoman is in a position where like he's going to take damage, I'd rather give him Uber than let him die. And it seems like every single time your combo pops an Uber, you're in a position where you're going to take damage, and then you just run away from your combo and then die. So, like, there has to be some... It's either one or the other. Either you're close enough to take damage, so you might as well take some of the Uber intentionally, or you're far enough away so that you don't take any Uber, but you're also not in a position where they're going to hurt you. So, like, you kind of have to make up your mind there. You can't be close enough to take damage, but then not get any Uber. It's either be really close, accept that fact, and take the Uber, or stay away, far away. Not too far away, but just, you know, stay away.
Our control point is being captured.
That was nasty.
Time has been added. Alert. Our control point is being captured.
You have a habit of like sitting in that spot where like he hits you with all the pipes in the world. You gotta be really careful about that. I mean, it's happened a lot of times in this scrim here where you just kind of eat all those pipes at the choke. And that'll kind of slow down your pushes because your medic has to heal you up to 175 before you can even move anywhere. Really good damage down to Asian Rice Guy. I like the aggression pushing up down the left. This is really good. Gets you closer to the choke. Nice. I like the choice to go. What? Go, 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 go. Your team is already into them. Skyzer is already all over them right now. See it? That hesitation right there? Like, you had the exact right idea in mind. You were like getting close to them. You were walking towards the choke, so you weren't taking any sticky damage from yourself. This is perfect. And then you turned around and you're like, wait a second, is mid in trouble? And then you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go anyways. And then now you have to sticky jump. So it's like, every time you make a positioning error, you have to sticky jump to like make up for it, to put yourself in the right position. So like, the more you can work on like walking to the right locations, the better. As far as mid goes right there, and you know, you guys not capping it and everything, like, it's not a big deal. You shouldn't, your Demoman isn't the one to cap, especially since you don't even have the pain train. So let a scout cap. And you should, as a Demoman, you should be focused on taking territory. So you're sticking up the choke while there's a scout fighting your scout, but it still works out anyways.
Time has been added.
yeah, like I said here, I personally at this choke would at 175 just chill out, you know, just hang out there, put up a trap, make sure you don't die. At 260, I would consider poking. As far as your medic skill order goes, like when I play medic, I'm thinking Demoman to 175, pocket to 300, and then Demoman to 260. Provided that no one has crit heals, right? Demoman 175, that makes sure that he has 2 shots to take. He can take 2 shots before he dies, because assuming that 1 shot in this game does 100 damage, you know, like a sticky, a meat shot, a rocket to the face. So if you're at 175, you can take 2 shots before you die. Really important. That's a really important number for Demoman. Then pocket to 300, so the pocket can push the choke, and your pocket should be doing this poking. And then Demoman to 260. So if you have the 260, feel free to use the health to poke and do what you're doing now, but you shouldn't be the one in front, because that means your pocket soldier has to sit behind you and patiently wait. Because if you take any damage right now, the medic has to heal you, because you're putting yourself in a situation where you're taking damage. And let me also point out that you're not going to kill anybody with those stickies. No one's going to die. You might hurt them, you might, you know, annoy them a little bit, but you're not going to kill anything. Now, if the Demoman is that close, you might kill him, but he might kill you as well. Again, you're forcing your medic to heal you and not your pocket. You're still doing it. The Demoman is hitting the crap out of you, and you're pushing back into them. You're forcing your medic to heal you once again. I really strongly encourage you, Saint, or anyone else watching this demo right now, please go check out some demos of Platinum, Banny, Kaitis, Numlocked. Just check out how they would do an even Uber hold at middle, at a choke, something like that, because I can guarantee you they're not doing this. They're not forcing their medic to heal them to 260. Maybe if their pocket, for example, if you look at Classic Mix-Up and Seagull and Platinum's the pocket, right? If Platinum's at 300, then maybe Seagull might be poking with him. But like, you're not gonna have both players. Like, you're not gonna have Platinum at 200 and Seagull doing the poking. You're not gonna have Lansky at 200 and Banny doing the poking. It doesn't work that way. It's Lansky at 300 health, and then like Banny considers it. So it looks like you guys are going to go for some sort of roamer sack. Is that what's going on here? Because you're playing back and you're buffing your soldiers. No? Okay. Guess not. This is the same problem you had a couple rounds ago, right? Where you're doing all the poking and it's not really netting anything for you guys. In fact, you're taking a lot of damage, so it's going to... Oof. Oh, you guys got that force though. That actually worked out for you guys. That's pretty good. And you got the Demoman. Wow, nice job, Skyzer. Okay, so you should be thinking about pushing really aggressively through the choke right here with your combo. Now's the right time to be poking. Now's the right time to do that move. The time when it's best for you to be poking and doing the move, you're like looking behind you. Oof. Ouch. So the reason I put so much emphasis on like you poking and like getting up there is because like you have a limited window of time where you can poke them, and that best time is when their Demoman is down and they don't have an Uber, and like you had all those conditions right there, and then now their Demoman has respawned, so you don't have that condition anymore, and actually they turned it on you. This really hurts here now. I mean, this move into sewer didn't net you any damage or any picks at all. Nice. Am I saying poke a lot, Defy?
The control point is being contested. Time has
That's really good damage there. I think the one unfortunate part was that you kind of got separated away from your soldiers and then you ended up dying, but that was some really good damage on last. Ah! Okay, so this demo is just about done here, Saint. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask them. If anyone else in chat has questions, I'll answer them.
Time has been added.
Okay, they just called GG, so I think it's over. So, let me find my water first. Hold on. I'm really sad I misplaced my water. It must be in my room. The main thing I saw in that demo there, Saint, was like, you have these moments where you really know how to pump out damage, but just the timing of it is kind of off. Like, you don't want to be pumping out damage when it's evens, unless their team is overextending massively. Like, punish them for it. Like, definitely punish them if they're going to overextend. But you acted like they were overextending all the time, even when they were playing really far back, such as when they're holding their second point. And you have to stick out your neck really far in order to get the damage that you want. And it's just not worth it. Like, it's not worth taking 100, 200 damage just to do that, because it just puts you in a situation where you're at risk. And if you die, then they can just immediately push you. Like you saw when you're poking that choke from 3 to 2, or from middle to second point. Like, if you died, they just rolled it all the way to your last, that one round. And that other round where you pushed, that last round that we just saw a couple minutes ago, where you pushed into the sewers, like, you weren't there at the choke to hold them off, so then they just kind of pushed right through and took out your combo. So really gotta be careful about that. Mid fights were decent. Like I said, first couple stickies hit the demo, and then next couple stickies look for soldiers and scouts, especially on the high ground. And then I would look for an opportunity to push up. It seemed like on the mids you were always looking to go around the outsides, but actually one of my favorite things to do is push across the demo across the point on process. Because when you're on the point as a demo man, you have a lot of control, and you have the ability to shoot both health packs. You have the ability to pressure the choke. When you're around the sides, you're farther away from the enemy health pack, and you're farther away from the choke. So maybe in the beginning of the mid you can poke around the sides, like pick a side. Like, a lot of teams will choose go right or go left. And then, but eventually, if you're winning the mid, you want to regroup at the point and then push across. If you're losing, back out, whatever. But I think you were fine with that when you guys were losing. Your pushes into last, your fourth point hold was kind of awkward. Like I said, try and do something in the lobby instead. I just feel like it's a safer location for you, and also puts you in a position where you can get in the last easier. That left side tunnel, when you're holding the fourth point, is just not good for Demoman at all. Either go in with your, you kind of want to go into last away from your combo, or, like, that's my opinion. Like, if I pop into last, like, we tried, on teams I've been on, we've tried pushing into demo on the Uber, and it doesn't really work on evens, so I would take in a pocket, and then as a demo man, just try and come in wherever you can. So if your combo goes through the ramp room, we call it ramp. So if your combo goes ramp, then you want to come out the lobby. If your combo goes lobby, you come out the ramp, or something like that. Just come out somewhere away from your combo, but in a place where you can put stickies on the point. And that's what really matters, is the first part of last, you want to be poking them with your stickies. Poking them, goddammit. You want to be hitting them with your stickies, sticky sniping. And then eventually, you want to put stickies on the point and hurt them that way. I didn't even notice I say it that much, Defy. And then on mids, when you push second point, just on even Ubers. Like, just kind of chill back. If you have 260, go ahead and do your thing. But if you don't have a buff, just chill back and then get ready for the push. Cool. I hope that was helpful. Let me look at chat, see if you have any questions. When we pushed right, was I too far in, or should someone else have been in front of me? It depends, Saint. That one's really situational. Are you talking about the mid fight? It really depends. Like, it's really dependent on whether or not they're looking at you. I mean, you could argue that you were too far in front, but if they're not looking at you, then it's perfectly acceptable to be there. So it's literally all based on which side their team is targeting. If their team is targeting the left and you're on the right, go ahead and push into them, you know, because they're not looking at you, they're looking at the left. If you're pushing into them on the right though, and they're right there, you probably shouldn't go in, because like, so the whole point is, like, I mean, this goes for every class, like scouts, demo, some roamers. The best time to shoot them is when they're not looking at you, and you always want to be as close as possible to them without taking damage. Like, that's a really big key for scouts and demo, is how close can I be to them? Like, the closer you are to them, the more damage you do. But if you're too close and they shoot you, and then you get hurt, right? And you want all the heals to go to your pocket. So you want, it's a really fine line between being too close and being just, you know, too far away to do any damage at all. So just kind of work with that, and yeah, I would, in your future scrims, I would work really hard to try and figure out what the right distance is, and let your pocket take all the heals. Let your pocket do the leading, but don't be too far away from your medics so that you can't get any heals, or you know what I mean? Because, like, you struggled with that. It's like you were too far away a lot of the times to even get heals or even get uber flashed, and then sometimes you were just too far in front and taking all the damage. Cool. Hope this was helpful. Everyone else who is watching on either my VODs or on YouTube, hope you found this to be helpful as well. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think, because I'm just starting this, and if you guys actually like it, I might continue it. If you don't like it, whatever, I'll try something else. I'll go back to casting. I have plenty of more reviews to do. I have a thread up on Team Fortress TV, so if you want to get something looked at, go ahead and post something in there and I'll give it a look. And I'll see you next time.